Welcome back to our GURPS Hammer campaign. I'm Rigil, your GM for tonight's session. And someone is beating the crap out of their keyboard. This campaign will be utilizing the GURPS rule set, but is set in the Empire of Man, found in the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing setting. In addition to our live streams on Twitch, this and all future sessions will also be available on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Links will be found in the description. Before we begin, I have a couple of quick bookkeeping notes. That some of this I did cover on our Discord, but I wanted to go over it again. Warhammer Fantasy role-playing has the concept of short-term and long-term ambitions that is baked into their system, and I'm going to be adopting that. So they are, obviously short-term ambitions are your immediate goals. They're like, the stuff you want to accomplish within, the next week or, something like that. And in this case, it should generally last 2 to 3 sessions to complete. And I have no idea what you're talking about, Giger. Achieving this ambition will net the character a bonus character point, whereas long-term are, long-term goals. Completing those will have the stated benefits where it's like you could gain the 10-point bonus and choose another one, or retire the character and move on. I have unhidden or shared the ambition sheet, so it will be available for your review at leisure. Giger also introduced the achievements thing in his Redacted 3, and I am considering stealing that concept, even though that's going to be a bit more work for me. I've just started on that, so there isn't anything really available yet. But it will probably work relatively similar, but achieving accomplishing an achievement, not achieving an achievement, because that's just accomplishing an achievement. Once I get them all squared away, will probably net the character a character point. However, if I go with something like death is only the beginning, where your character dies, that obviously will roll over to the next character. But I will keep you appraised, and once I've pulled the trigger, I'll let you know. Okay, FX, do you have any character business for Christoph?
I have just only what we've discussed on the Discord. Do you want me to summarize or talk about it?
That's going to be the purchasing and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll come up later. No, in this case, it's mostly just like point expenditures or anything like that.
No point expenditures, but I guess for the benefit of the group, did have a couple of things that I had to fix on my character sheet that we were tracking in Discord. So that's all been done.
Yeah. All right, cool. Nosh, do you have any character business for Enfys?
No, I do not. I'll make my purchases when we get around to that, or staling off dead bodies, whichever.
Cool. All right, Gigerman, do you have any character business for Jorg?
I was going to add lifting strength and realized that I really should have alcohol tolerance as an alcoholic. So I decided to put off the lifting strength.
So you're tolerant of alcohol. Okay. What the heck does that do? Just like a bonus to your health?
Yeah, health bonus for getting drunk and stuff.
So noted. I will have to give you more opportunities to get drunk then. Mel, do you have any character business for Queen Coppertongue?
I don't think so. I think the business that I have needs the shopping montage to happen first.
Roger, Roger. All right, Ronky, do you have any character business for Soren?
I will be spending 1 point in my short sword. That's not enough to increase it a level, but I'll do that next time.
Okay, cool. So we are going to start immediately after the battle has stopped. The first thing, you need to make a post-combat shakes roll, which we keep forgetting
Right.
about.
I guess we didn't do that, did we?
We
First
did
time.
not.
I'm okay.
You're okay. Groovy. Okay, got the map again. Copper Tongue is currently at negative 16 hit points. She is 10 yards down and is bleeding. Therefore, within the next minute, she's going to have to make a health roll at -3 to avoid losing an additional hit point. If she crit fails, she loses 3 more. As I understand, Kristoff was planning on immediately climbing down there using rope or something like that. Is that not correct, FX?
That is correct. If I have any available gear, of course I will use it. I don't have any in my person.
Nope. All we had was rope.
Okay.
So that will
So
be a climbing at -1, and I did the necessary reading in the basic book, and you should be able to get to her within a minute. So
okay. So assuming nobody has like an objection, I'm gonna I'll ask like Jorg, Jorg. How do I say it again?
Jorg.
Sorry. Jorg, or anybody else that looks strong enough, maybe they can hold the rope and we could tie it to something and I'm just gonna start rappelling myself down
Yeah, Jorg can help with that.
just to kind of stabilize me. I'm also not visualizing, is this kind of like a cliff or just a rocky, slope, or like what does it look like going down?
really sharp slope.
Okay. And so that's what I'll do unless anybody like has, says or does anything otherwise. And I can start heading down.
All right,
Tempting.
give me
Here's-
climbing -1,
Here's
On
you
board.
guys an opportunity to get rid of her.
and I totally want you to roll an 18 because that would be hysterical.
Also, I'm confident. I don't know if there's anybody that's like really good at climbing. So if anybody else wants to object at this point, that also
were
has
you at?
first aid. I'm at a 13.
I think you may be the best climber.
Cern's
also
at
with the
13
first
as well.
aid.
Speaking of
Okay.
that,
So-
did Ronky, did you start working on the party sheet thing for that? With all the skills and everything?
I have not
I know we
started that yet.
talked
It's in my
about it,
to-do
but
list.
I can't remember. Is it? Okay.
So Christoph rolled a 10, which is a success by 2 on his climbing roll.
Good job. All right, so you'll be able to get down there and begin doing the immediate first aid as you stated. So that will stop the bleeding for the 1 hit point automatic. Well, presuming you make the first aid check, I think. Copper Tongue will still need to make the health -3 to avoid the bleed while he's climbing down. It is -3 because the way it works is you take a -1 per 5 points of bleeding injury. So
Oh yeah.
the fall damage did not actually count. Otherwise, it'd be like health -5. Okay, so that's sort of amusing. So she will.
If
she will lose.
if I'm not mistaken, I think the successful first aid roll
stops bleeding.
stops the stops the bleeding, so she doesn't need to make that roll. She only makes that roll
She
in the
makes that
event of
roll
a failure.
while he's climbing down.
So the climb
Because
took more than a
yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right, so
And
she
then-
stops bleeding. She goes back to 28 because he gave her 1 point back. And
fine.
then, yep, and then he just put it on there. 1d minus 2. Okay, so I guess you can go ahead and roll that after 30 minutes as you're looking around trying to figure out how do we get her back up here.
Well,
not-
let me. I'm gonna yell back up. Hey, so I stabilize. Is she conscious? Are you conscious, Queen?
Oh, she's definitely not conscious.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
she's out.
So I'm gonna like call back up. All right, I stopped the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. Should we try to pull her up, or should I try to do some triage down here?
Outside of the fall, what were her other injuries?
She got cut really badly
Yeah.
I mean, where?
across the torso, I believe.
Yeah, it was the torso.
Because my original thought would be to tie a rope around her under her arms and pull her up. But I don't know if that's going to make that worse.
Well, I'm not planning on actually forcing you to figure out how to do that because you're
We do an
Sure,
appropriate thing.
yep.
So my recommendation, is to get her up and kind of like lay her down and get her, in a situation where I can do proper shock
Yeah,
treatment.
we'll do the shock treatment up top. So we'll pull her up first.
All right. So while they're doing that, Soren and Enfys are going to be definitely aware that two of the thugs actually did survive, and I completely forgot to share all of the NPCs. Good old Lord Rickard is super unconscious.
Oh, I thought he was dead.
Lord Rickard? No.
Well,
Very badly injured.
We could make him dead if you want.
Fat Farlesbag
Yeah.
is bleeding out, however.
The dead man can't pay us anything.
Well, I was prepared to start bandaging fat bastard.
Okay. Let's see. So, can he even do that if someone has been struck in the vitals?
Well, if you're going to be doing the harsh rules from martial arts, it's going to be a surgery rule, so he could do it, but it would be whatever his default surgery, and probably no equipment, no proper equipment.
And doesn't have the skill.
So it's going to
Yeah.
probably be like need to be a crit.
Okay, if there's the severe bleeding, bandaging, severe wounds thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now. Bandaging severe wounds. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm looking
we
at
have a
the
note.
thing. I have I was like, that's why I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing that. I put all that crap in the notes.
Do you have the part about the vitals?
Yeah,
It's in the vitals location.
Vitals, yeah, internal bleeding from injuries to vital organs is usually fatal
Oh,
without
okay.
surgery. It said
just-
usually fatal.
Well, under bandaging severe wounds, it says that bandaging won't, or first aid won't suffice. It has to be
Right,
surgery.
you need a surgery. Yeah, so it'll be a surgery roll, whatever that default would be, and then no basic equipment.
I don't think you can default surgery, can you?
I don't know.
I don't think you
Let's
can,
find out.
but I'm not positive.
Surgery. First aid minus 12.
Minus 12.
In which case, no, you can't. If Enfys doesn't have first aid, then he can't make surgery because you can't default off of a default. Remember?
I don't think any of us have more than 12.
Yeah, well, if he's
So we're not even allowed
he's gotta-
to attempt it.
yeah, I mean, if he's clearly, if this is pointless, there's no point in blooding up useless bandages.
I don't think he's going to make it.
Maybe you could put some fire on his wound to cauterize him.
He still gets his normal health roll to naturally stop bleeding.
Yes, I made those rolls, and simply based off of the damage that was taken and how badly it, because the way the stuff works is like, okay, if it's vitals, then it is automatically an additional -4 to the check every 30 seconds instead of every minute. Plus, you have -1 for every 5 points of blood damage that can cause bleeding, and he has taken 38 points of damage. So that's
I like these rules. It would make
What's
it
that?
fun, like if you were actually playing. I said I like these rules because it would make it fun and kind of useful if you were playing a dedicated healer, like non-magical.
Yeah, you like it until it goes against you.
So he is straight away operating on a -11 on the first roll, and his health is 12. That means he cannot make the roll.
Unless he gets a critical success 3 times in a row.
Right. He didn't.
Actually, no, critical success stops bleeding immediately.
No, it doesn't.
And it
Where
says it
does
up
that
the top,
say that?
3rd line down.
Oh, yeah. But a critical a 3 should not be counted as a critical success if your effective skill is 1.
Yeah, that one's tricky.
Trixie. Oh, right. Yes. So, unless some sort of extreme efforts are going, because I remember on Discord, I think it's on Discord, Ronki was talking about trying to talk the sister of Shalia into lending a hand, although she clearly doesn't seem to have particular interest in doing so.
So just so I'm understanding this correctly, is there? I mean, does he has a chance to stop on his own the bleeding?
No.
And that's kind of like, okay, no. And then the other part of my question is, if I got a critical success on my first aid -12, I mean, is that even remotely possible? Because otherwise he's gonna die regardless.
You're not
So, I
gonna.
mean,
He will die. He will be long dead before you even crawl back up.
Oh, okay. So then never
You could
mind.
try surgery, but you're more likely to cut his heart out than fix him.
So right now, if anyone is definitely going to try to do anything, it's going to have to be not Kristoff and probably not Jorg. Although now that once Kristoff is down there, Jorg doesn't have to continue holding the rope right there.
Well, but I was going to be helping pull her up too.
Eventually, yeah.
But no, Jorg is not that great anyway.
Well, I mean, it's dead or alive. We're gonna get paid the bounty. I mean, unless somebody has like some sort of really, reason that they want him to try to live.
Well,
Kristoff doesn't really give a crap either way.
Søren will go over there to look to see if he can help him. Søren doesn't have the first aid skill. He'll see this fountain of blood squirting out of this vitals wound and decide no, he doesn't want to get dirty.
Stick your finger in it.
Yeah, Enfys will agree and start looking for a crossbow and a bolts and a quiver.
Oh yeah, there's several on the ground from people who have been shot or stabbed or cut.
How many bolts do I find?
All of that stuff is in the party sheet.
Okay.
What was the fast talk roll for, Soren?
Søren was going to try and fast talk Enfys into sticking his finger in it and stopping the bleeding.
I don't think that was gonna work.
Stick your finger in and cast create fire.
Because Søren doesn't want to get dirty, so he says, hey, you should stick your finger in it. It might help a little bit. It's going to be worth more money alive than dead. Or he'll be worth more alive than dead.
Hit the wrong button.
I think.
Yeah. I think I'll give you the finger and carry on my way.
Geez, that's not very nice of you. Well, what happened to your humanity? There's a man dying right there.
Well, what's happened to yours? You're talking and not plugging his hole. Anyway, gotta go.
Søren will shrug. Probably wouldn't have helped anyway.
Okay, so Christoph can go ahead and either FX can make the 1D -2 roll, or he can make Mel roll it. So she has to suffer from her crappy die rolls.
I'll let Mel roll it. It's 1D -2, and it already includes the 1 from first aid.
So it's technically minimum 0. So I think that counts the 1 that you just did.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rough, man.
So add another one, or was that it?
Nope. That's it.
That's low
Yay.
tech
So
for you.
It'll take a while, but you guys can get her back up, and after he sort of semi binds the injuries, and into the sort of pseudo semi snow tower here. I think I mentioned. I'm not sure if I officially did mention it on the on the boards, or I mean on Discord. But there's actually a set of stairs that lead down into sort of like the living quarters. Obviously, there used to be a set of stairs that led up to an upper level, but that upper level is no longer really there. The lower levels downstairs, as stated, was mostly it's mostly ruined and collapsed as well, but it's out of the snow and it does have some intact stuff. What is potentially more interesting is there is a rickety-looking wagon and a pathetic-looking donkey down here, and you will be able to observe that. Oh, hey, yeah, this thing does open up into the mountain pass, but is obviously the opposite direction that you guys were coming from. So, oh man, what did I just do? Oh, I was afraid I was about to do something dumb. The stuff that's on the party sheet is taken from the bandits that either straight up died, or the 2 that survived and surrendered. There are some other. Yeah, go ahead.
You'll have to replace a first aid kit. I took it by accident and then deleted it off my inventory.
No.
Just to make
Magically
things
appeared.
complicated.
Magically disappeared. What a shock. Items. One has been added back. Yeah, so there are some basic camping supplies down there. Some basic navigation stuff like compass, some sort of rudimentary maps of the area, including the past stuff. There's some general food, some hideous tasting ale, etc., etc.
When in
Should
Rome.
I create an entry? I mean, Christoph is interested in a copy of the map.
Okay,
Or
well, it's just it's just a map. It's fairly rudimentary, but it gives you a pretty decent idea of okay, there's a small pass over in that direction. That's clearly how they were able to move through here. And
cool. Should I create? There's not one in the party sheet. Should I create it in my own
Sure.
inventory, or
Sure.
I'll figure it out? Probably negligible weight.
Yeah, pretty much.
And should I call it map of Rickers?
No, it's just going to be a Gray Tower map or Gray Mountains map.
Map
But
of
it's a
Great Mountains.
relatively
Okay.
it's a relatively limited area.
Basic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So as indicated, there are two surviving bandits who surrendered. There are two hostages, which one of which is the woman dressed in the robes of a sister of Shaya, and then there's a nobleman who looks pretty badly injured, but it looks like she has done what she could to keep him alive for the time being. Rory will be slightly disappointed that what's his face died, but oh well. Means we're gonna need to get a box and pack it with some snow and ice and stick his head in there.
Well, there's lots of snow.
Yep, that's true. Okay, so eventually, Lord Schaffenberg will regain consciousness. Coppertongue will probably regain consciousness eventually there as well, and will, or at least Lord Rickard will be quite thankful for your actions, here, because well, he didn't know what was going on. In fact, the last thing he really remembers is the ambush, and then bad stuff started happening. And
Right. Was he the one that started this getting
no,
caught?
he's just participating because
Okay, he was part of the bounty hunter.
sort of he he was a friend, or is a friend of the guy who was injured and whose fiance was murdered. But
So Lord Rickard was unconscious, right?
a bit more than unconscious. He looks very, very badly injured. Like,
Does he have?
He may have passed a death threshold or something.
Does he have anything obviously valuable on his person?
He's most of it's covered in blood, but possibly.
I would think the bandits would have taken it if he did.
Yeah, that's probably true. speaking of that, also on the party sheet, you will be able to note that I did put some of the monies that were present, and this is like, generally what the bandits had. And that's not like all in coinage. You're probably going to have like, oh, hey, there's a medallion, and maybe it's worth a crown. Maybe it belonged to Lord Rickard. Maybe not.
What's the exchange rate to GURPS?
Are you not able to click on options currencies? I don't know if I know the GM can, but I don't know if the PCs can.
Yeah,
Thought we
Right.
could.
Yep, can.
Yep, there are 12 shillings in, or no, 12 pennies or finning in a shilling and 20 shillings in a crown. So a crown is 240 GURPS.
Enfys looks at at Soren, and says, yeah, I don't know if we should be taking anything. You know, you piss off a lord, he usually comes back to haunt you.
What makes you think I'm going to take anything?
Ah, ah. This ale tastes like donkey piss. Shrug. Glug, glug, glug. Ah.
I think if Christoph, if he sees like a crown or some sort of like jewelry type item, will take that like as his fair share. And if it,
You're not
he'll
going to
shrug.
see a crown.
Sorry, I didn't mean a crown. I meant like the medallion that you said that was worth.
Oh, I was just
potentially a
like
crown.
throwing that out randomly. It's just like, yeah, it's just, for the group, such as it is. What are you planning on doing? I probably have to address this mostly to Jorg, since he's like, I think, the only person with the leadership skill.
God
What are
help
you
us.
doing with the 2 bandits that surrendered?
There were no survivors. Do I make myself clear?
They're the ones that are going to carry Fat Bastard,
That's true. We could do some work.
and they're the ones that are going to cut off his head. Søren's not getting dirty.
What do you mean not getting dirty? You've been out in the boonies for multiple days. You are dirty.
Yeah, but I'm not covered in other people's blood. Ish.
Right. Okay. So, there, as stated, there is the wagon, so you can use that to mostly transport, I don't know, the really badly injured people. Based off of the map, when you look at it, those of you who have navigation, what's your navigation level, Christoph?
His navigation is it land 12.
12. He's probably going to guesstimate it's probably about 2 days from here to Hoopberg, which is the capital of the nearest the March of Hoopberg, and depending upon what you find there, then it's probably like another day to Ubersreik. And naturally, I don't have the freaking thing that I need open. Wait, I don't need that. Ah, dang it. Okay, so let's see. That means you are going to have a couple days of travel. Oh yeah, she's probably going to have somebody else go down there and get them their mail, because she is not in any shape to move around. Oh, I
She
thought you
will
were going to roll
ask.
stubbornness.
No. She'll ask Jurg to go and dig up the anvil bits and bring them back and put them on the wagon.
You want some ale?
Thought you'd never ask. She'll take the bottle and start drinking.
It tastes like donkey piss.
Ah, just like home.
Yeah, when you're collecting that shit, make sure you don't touch it. It's nasty.
Yeah, I'll fetch your stuff.
Okay, so let's see here. So, luckily, Drory actually has the Teamster skills, so he can scope out the wagon such that it is, and take a look at the donkey, and he's just sort of shaking his head like, "Oh man, this poor thing." But on the bright side, it'll work. Can load the two people who can't do any actual walking. Can load them in there. They can rest. Put any of the other stuff in there and such like that. If you recall, it was noonish, I believe. By the time you guys, noonish to one-ish, by the time you finally, because you got a little lost there briefly. So I am going to operate on the presumption that you guys are going to end up overnighting here. Because you're going to have
Probably
to take
a good idea.
take tally of what you have obtained, find some stuff to stick the head into a box filled with ice. And possibly have the okay. So the two bandits, I don't know, Hans and Franz, maybe. After you have had them decapitate what's his face, what is their fate then? Are you taking them with you? Are you shoving them off of the hill? Binding them to a metal pole naked in the snow?
I mean, Kristoff is not like from Kristoff's perspective, he's not like bloodthirsty or anything like that. I mean, he's sort of like trying to do the right thing. So he would, tie them up the wagon, take them back for justice would be his inclination.
That's true. Is there a reward for bandits?
One never knows.
I guess it's worth a try.
Okay. All right. So let's see here.
I've got knot tying as well, if that helps.
Oh, they're not competent enough to break loose of generic knots. That was weird. Okay, so I needed to look at minor. There we go. Just a second.
Cern will be talking to the prisoners. He's going to use fast talk to get a good reaction, and he just wants to probe them for information. Stuff that might be interesting, that could potentially be valuable, rumors they may have heard, that sort of thing.
All right.
So this is fast talk for a good reaction.
All right, success by one. They are eager to spill their guts and basically tell you about how they're, woe is them. None of this was their fault. They're just, innocent people who didn't do nothing wrong. Although from the glare that the sister is giving them, that seems kind of BSy. But what does really make or interest Soren is they will actually mention that Farlesbag did not intend on, or was not planning on, the escapade that he did here. He was charged by someone, some wizardess who showed up here one day and had a chat with him, and it scared him crapless. But he just called her mistress, and so they don't know what her name was. But they can give you a pretty solid description of her, and she definitely sounds a little weird. Uh, she's dressed like a noblewoman, pretty pale, blonde hair, but she had weird eyes. They were mismatched. One of them was blue and one of them was red.
Really? And she turned up here at this circle place here.
Yeah, and then she left in a poof of smoke later. It was super creepy.
Right, I imagine.
Sounds super hot to me, to be honest.
Soren will say, "Don't worry about him. He swings always."
Yeah. Okay. And then they will, try to convince you, poorly, because they don't have effective or any particularly good social engineering skills, but they're going to try to talk you into maybe speaking up for them.
So he'll also ask what exactly Falsberg was aiming at. What exactly was the escapade?
To go in and abduct that lady.
And that was on behest of this sorceress.
They guess he, because they didn't hear the conversation. She showed up, spoke with him privately, and then he said, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to go grab this person."
By any chance, did you say what's so special about these two?
These two.
Indicating the sister.
Oh no, they were captured at the in the raid. Well, she was captured in the raid, and Rickard was discovered in the or captured after the orcs ambush. They weren't expecting the orc ambush either. Although they had a nice view of it.
So, how long have you guys been involved in banditry? Has it been a good career move for you guys?
Oh wow. So they stupidly make some comments about the stuff they've seen and done, and then realize that is not helping their argument at all.
The things that they've said, are they
Banditry stuff.
Are they particularly brutal, or is it just we robbed some people?
We robbed some people. We killed some people. We raped some people.
Well, Soren's gonna pretend that he's on their side. He says, "Look, were it up to me, I think this experience has been enough for you guys to see the error of your ways, and you'll probably change your path in future. But I'm just one in a group here." So Soren's going to try and be their friend.
Potentially relevant question.
Okay.
Are either of these the conscious bandits responsible for any of the injuries currently suffered by party members?
No, because the one that Soren captured never got an opportunity to attack anyone because Soren ambushed him from surprise. He was back there guarding Lord Rickard and the sister. And the other one is the lazy one who showed up into the battle late and was about to shoot Copper Tongue and crit failed and broke his. Oh, yeah. One of those I need to make sure one of those crossbows should be gone.
Hmm.
Uh,
Thought it was a
Enfys
short
will,
bow.
May have been a short.
Enfys, in hearing Soren say he wants to befriend, or sorry, that's meta. In hearing what Soren's saying, Enfys will come over and kneel down by one of the bandits and he'll say, "Yeah, what's that I smell in the air? Does that smell like toasty human? I wonder what
Hey.
they're going to do with you two when they get you in front of a judge." Oh, I'm probably just exaggerating things. And then he'll get up and walk away.
Come on,
Which-
Enfys. That's a little
Which
harsh.
knee? Which knee did Enfys kneel on?
Oh, yeah, he got shot.
The
in
healthy
knee.
knee. The healthy knee.
Yeah, come on, Enfys. That's a little harsh. Yeah, these two, they're someone's son or daughter.
You know, pretty soon someone's parent's going to be childless and some sibling's going to be siblingless. Anyway, I got to go tend to my knee. I forgot. Ow.
Okay, so let's see. Where is the recovery? How long does it take? Is it like a full day? I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah, 24-hour, I think. A day of
definitely,
rest and food.
Definitely emphasis. I mean, he's down to 6 hit points.
Yeah, he's not super happy right now.
Okay, so let's see. So the following morning, Sister Brigitte will do some prayers before her, by herself. She also definitely seems to be a bit standoffish, like she's just not comfortable around people, and it doesn't. Anybody who actually has the body language skill does not need to make a roll, but they immediately will be able to determine that it's mostly men that she's not comfortable around right now, which has some bad connotations in and of itself. But she will also do. This is going to. She's going to try this first on Lord Rickard and then on Coppertongue with permission. So he will go down to. It's not a lot because it's like, ooh, minor healing, yay! But anything helps, right?
Yes.
While she's operating, York will be appropriately reverent.
Okay, so she can do 2 more points on someone without. Oh, right.
Exploding?
She has without triggering something. That's why she waited until in the morning, and everybody is walking wounded except. Okay, so she's gonna have to. Gonna have to do it on herself because, well, she was at the half move, half dodge point. And
Is the minor
yeah, minor. It's
minor
1
healing
to,
the one that does 3?
1 to 3, yeah, depending upon the points. But she had burned, basically, she had gotten all the way up to her threshold. basically doing what she could to keep Lord Rickard from, well, flat out dying.
Does clerical healing suffer from the penalty to heal yourself?
I don't know about a penalty to heal yourself.
If you attempt to heal yourself normally under magic rules, you're at a penalty equal to the damage you've taken.
I was unaware of this. It's entirely probable then. This is what happens when I don't play spellcasters. I already affected that, Mel. It was reduced you down 3 points. It was 3. She did 3 on Copper Tongue and 3 on Lord Rickard.
Okay. thanks.
Because if she, the minor heal is 1 to 3, and if you try it again, you're at like a -3 against the same person.
All right. So Copper Tongue is still at half move and dodge. So if there's room in the cart, she may park it in the cart.
Oh yeah, she's probably gonna be sitting there next to the nobleman. Where does it say that, Ronky? Is it actually under the minor?
No, it's not under the spell. It's under the description for healing magic. Like the college. I'll find the page number for you.
And also multiple attempts of healing on the same person, same day are
Yep.
negative.
Yep. -3. That's why she was only doing that. Only did 3 on the two people. So that was 6 points, and then she put the 2 on her, so she didn't and all that. Okay, so you will be able to spend the next day traveling. It's every bit as irritating as you would expect. Slow, it's cold. Some of you that at least for Copper Tongue, that thing is not particularly comfortable. But you've got camping gear in there, so when you stop for the evening, it is probably less irritating. However, you will need to do the standard camp stuff for at least tonight.
Really quickly, did you say Bridget would only heal certain people?
No, it's just she would be willing to heal certain others, but she's got the threshold thing as well. She was at her threshold in the morning. She recovered the 8 points, and she just basically spent the 8 points again. If you fast talk her, you might be, or diplomacy, you might be able to talk her into into trying them again or adding some more. Although that is potentially dangerous. It could be lots of fun though.
Now he's Kristoff will kind of just keep to himself at this point if she doesn't seem to be offering her services.
When can we make health rolls for healing?
As I
Rest.
understand,
rest.
you need to do you need to basically sit on your butt all day.
I think they
I'm
should,
double check.
if it does require you to sit on your butt all day, there should be maybe a penalty to heal if you don't.
At the end of each day of rest and decent food, make a health roll. So
Yeah, I did that in Sea Dogs with a couple of cases where I said if you're doing light duty, you could do it at a penalty.
you remember what your penalty was that you applied? Because I'm perfectly fine
Not
with
off the top
doing
of my
that.
head, but
That's unacceptable.
if
You should be
somebody's
able to remember it.
marching, I would say -4 at best.
Well, there is.
I wonder
the
what it
lag
means
in-
by
in-
I wonder what it means by day of rest. Does that mean like a proper night's sleep, or does it mean you spend 24 hours resting?
That was my impression, is 24 hours not doing anything but healing.
I should look into biotech.
Convalescence.
See if biotech covers it some more. Probably not.
Well,
Dungeon
emphasis
fantasy
is
might
probably not
clarify.
going to want to be. Emphasis isn't going to be wanting to walk on a knee that's been arrowed.
Probably not.
That is a good point. So you can probably sit on the wagon. So let's see. So I was going to allow both Rickard and Coppertong, since they're not doing anything, to make a health check, but it's going to be at a -1 because that's not particularly comfortable. The wagon, because it's rattling around. So I will let Enfys do the same. And I noticed your comment there, Ronki, in which case I put her points or her stuff back, and clearly the sister did not succeed, so she's going to have to be seated
Yeah,
in the
but
wagon as well.
clerical might be different. I'm not sure.
I'm not positive. I'd have to look. So
depends on
You
the
check that
gods.
DF book about clerics.
yeah, I'd have to look. Don't I have a note thing for stuff to look at? Yeah. So I will double check that.
I think it just would depend on the nature of the magic. You know, if it's like mage magic, or if it's like miracle, like divine magic, probably wouldn't matter. Whatever flavor you want to give it.
Sorry, I was making a note. So Mel, go ahead and give me a health -1 for Coppertong. And
Okay.
if she is successful, she will recover a hit point today. Actually, also got medical care. Does she have physician? Let me look.
Yeah, in dungeon fantasy, it's actually fairly specific.
She does
Failure.
not have.
It says you
Okay,
may
so you do.
you make a health roll at the end of each full day spent in camp or in town doing, in italics, nothing but resting and eating 3 meals.
Right.
Success restores
Well,
1 hit point.
we failed our rolls.
Yep, clearly that thing is a little too rickety for the moment. Does he have? Oh, yeah. And woo! He definitely didn't.
So what penalty were you assessing for light duty?
For those people that were sitting on the wagon, I was giving them a -1, but you can't get everybody on the wagon. Some of you are going to have to walk. Huh. There is nothing in the natural recovery for a crit fail.
Oh, I think you lose.
No, it doesn't say anything. All it says is on a success, you recover. The GM may give a penalty if conditions are bad, or bonus if conditions are good, and that's all it says. I am going. Yeah, he's in a bad way. Okay, so you will need to make the camping roll for this evening.
Is that Christoph or is somebody helping doing it?
I don't
Somebody
know.
else?
Is it Christoph? I think it's probably Christoph. You're usually our the survival guy.
Well, what terrain are we in?
You're still
still in the
mostly
mountains.
in the mountains, yeah. But you definitely can tell that you are nearing the regular territory, because they're not quite as bad as they were before. All right.
Well, I was going to say
3 options.
York can probably help, but even if I gave you +1, that wouldn't amount to much more. So We're good.
So you can say he's helping.
He's helping.
Okay. So success by 2. I
All
assume
right,
you
so
made
that's
it.
2. Yep. So that's was it comfort, concealment, and lines of sight? I think that's the 3.
I think we definitely want to do the one where we have like no fatigue loss and everybody's
Comfort.
comfortable, the comfort.
Comfort.
And then I think if I'm the one setting up camp, I'll do the camouflage one, or the one that makes us harder to find,
Concealment.
concealment.
Cool. No worries. Is anybody planning on doing anything or saying anything or any of that jazz for the evening, or are you just retiring?
Not
Get
necessarily
some
during
rest.
the evening, but when we're traveling and stuff, Søren is going to be asking Sister Brigitte if any of the 2 alive bandits hurt her.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Do not have diplomacy.
So,
Will
That's not his
substitute.
thing.
okay. Also, in that case, go ahead and throw a body language check in the box or in the skull. Oh yeah, and also I don't know if you all noticed, but Giger also increased the size of the modifier window. The little thing down there. It's no longer super tiny.
Cool.
And is the queen is conscious?
Yes, the queen.
Okay.
I think you're the only one that calls her the queen, except maybe her.
Hmm.
Ronki, you said you were going to substitute something for the diplomacy check.
Potentially fast talk.
Hmm.
The angle will be if these 2 were specifically involved in hurting her, then Søren will make sure that they get extra harsh treatment. Søren may be lying in that regard too.
Soren's a jerk, isn't he?
No, he's not a jerk.
Okay, so doesn't rest sufficiently, suffers a -3 penalty on health to regain hit points.
This isn't exactly that, but it's probably portable.
All right, so Søren succeeded by 3.
Where are you seeing that, Christoph?
I'm looking at page 424 in the basic set, and it's just under natural recovery.
No, it's what?
Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's
You know
not.
what?
You're reading treating
The
shock.
columns
Yeah,
are
the
kind of
columns.
weird, huh?
That's why I was like confused, because I'm like, huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That could be that's all right. Yep.
So not necessarily this night, but up to this point, with Her Majesty riding along, and Jorg is going to be carrying the sword on his shoulder because that's how you do that. And
Yeah. Or
if that hasn't been brought up yet, she may actually see the markings on it.
Yes. So, with regards to the sword that both Soren, the short sword that Soren took from the woman, and the great sword or the Zweihander that Jorg took from the bandit, both of the dwarfs will be able to immediately recognize that those were failed rune blades. So it's like some apprentice somewhere was making them, and they screwed it up somehow, and so it's just like a fine blade for GN terms, but dwarfs look at that like, oh my god, that is the worst thing. Ugh. Why don't you just throw that away? It's broken. It's useless.
So this is what we got off of the guy.
Yeah. The bandit leader had the Zweihander and his mistress, I guess, his lover, whatever, the chick that somebody shot or stabbed in the vitals or shot in the vitals. No, it's Kristoff shot her in the leg and got an artery hit. Yeah, she had a short sword that was the same way.
So yeah, noticing the failed, terrible hack job on the sword, be like, ugh, thing's worthless. You should get rid of it.
Well, it's better than the one I had before. But yeah, I'll get rid of it when I find something better.
So Soren, make your roll. I guess
then-
we're gonna do fast talk.
Soren will sort of turn to Enfys. No, I'm not getting rid of this sword. It's good. So fast talk will actually give me a bad reaction if I do. So no. I'm just going to go with straight up reaction.
Okay. What all bad, good stuff do you have there?
I have. Oh, I'm
Oh,
attractive.
hey, you're attractive.
Maybe I should sex appeal.
She has appearance beautiful.
Holy
Wow.
crap!
Wow.
Wow.
17. Very good. Okay. So
Stockholm syndrome.
based entirely off of her body language, she's gonna say, demure, pushing for more, for more punishment. But that's probably not a surprise with Shalia, who is the goddess of healing and all that stuff. So they sort of look down on that sort of stuff. But based off of her body language, that when Soren asks that question, it's like, did one of them hurt you? You are fairly certain the actual answer is a resounding yes to both.
All right, then. Yeah, Soren's friendliness with these bandits is going to be purely BS. He's leading them on.
Shall I cut their balls off for you?
So he's going to pretend that he's their friend, but he doesn't give a shit.
All right, cool. Okay, so then fairly late in the next day, you will reach Ubersreik, which is it's a decent sized town, but it's not super big. And needless to say, the fact that you guys are coming back from that expedition, which was believed to be a complete catastrophe and everybody died, certainly causes something of a ruckus. The or the Margrave of this area, since it is a march, is currently not present. Although the seneschal will doesn't want to get involved in Ubersreik politics at all, but at Lord of Schaffenberg or Lord Rickard's request, will provide proper bedding and place to sleep overnight that doesn't suck, You will be provided with like baths, which probably everybody desperately wants.
Mm-hmm.
The Margaret or the the Seneschal will also, when Lord Rickard demands of it, will send for one of the other sisters of Shalia who is inevitably present, and this person will show up, and I'm just going to use Brigitte's role for the. Even though it's not going to be minor, it's going to be, I don't remember what the next one is. What's the next level? Is it just regular healing or is it major?
You got minor healing and major healing. They're the only two.
Really? I thought there was a greater
Oh,
healing.
there's a greater heal, and a restful slumber. I think the restful slumber will heal you fully in 24 hours. But you're asleep for the whole time.
Right. I vaguely remember that one now. Just vaguely. Great heal. Yeah, 91. Major heal. Sorry. How that goes. Oh yeah, I wanted to. Okay. All right. So that is restores up to 8. Okay. So there will be a sister Shalia who will come in. She is very kind of snotty towards Sister Brigitte, which is kind of weird. I'm just going to roll this the one time. Okay, so anyone that is actually healed or are injured will be able to receive 8 points of hit points back from the major healing.
Healed, yay!
Yeah, said sister is going to not do it for multiple people or not multiple people, but do it against someone multiple times, and just say you need to heal this naturally and all that jazz.
Emphas is going to drop 3 shillings into the collection plate.
Oh, bless you, my son.
No,
Let's
thank you.
Did you already apply yours, Mel?
No.
I can do that. I was adjusting the thing. Hey, look at that! You're no longer at the death check threshold. I mean,
Hey, cool.
you're still negative, but that could have been worse. Uh-oh. What is Soren? Oh wait, that's success.
Yeah, he
never
was
mind.
looking at the collection plate, whether he should filch some money out of there.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do in a world where the gods are real.
They
That
get
would
lots of
be
money.
really
They don't need every coin.
That would be
What do the
really,
gods
really
need with
funny.
money?
I hadn't thought about that though, but that is a point. That is a good point. It's like you yoink it, and it's like, oh hey, why I got this minor little paper cut, and it is not healing. I'm like bleeding 1 point every second. Okay, so you will overnight in Ubersreik and get a nice restful night. Get some clean clothes, such like that. By this point, Lord of Schaffenberg has probably chatted with you a little bit, and he has declared his intention to publicly announce that the 5 PCs are the ones that get the get the bounty because they did all the work. And Jordy's like gonna go, that's mostly true because honestly he was pretty useless.
and his word is beyond contestation.
It might be beyond contestation.
Queen will deliberately fail greed and argue that because she nearly died, she should probably get more of the cut.
Well, he's going to leave that up to you guys. And let's see.
No,
thought
no,
we put
that's
that
not
on
how
Greg.
that's not how that works.
Sure it
Uh,
is.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to start charging you for saving your life.
That's a good point.
And what did you do? You sat back there and just hid back behind a column, you Nancy.
How do you know?
I
I
helped
could have
both
been
of them out.
instrumental in saving your life. I'm happy cutting the spoils evenly. And then sort of sarcastically he'll add, we could just let you die and take your share as well. Or we could have just let you die.
No, we don't want to set that precedent.
Okay, the following day.
Nice.
Uh-oh. Bad
Yeah,
temper
Queen's
fail.
gonna go over and try to punch.
Kick him in the groin.
I don't.
Consciousness
can't-
check.
I don't know who is who. Like all your name. I guess it's
Saren.
Surin.
Saren will be backing
Yeah,
off like,
Sharon-
hey, settle down,
He's
no
still
need to get
below
angry.
0.
He's still below 0, so she has to make a consciousness check. That'd be hysterical.
Yes.
I'm gonna punch you.
Settle down, there's no need to get angry.
Respect the.
You're gonna
I
hurt
respect the
yourself.
dice, man. Okay, so what's my consciousness check?
Should be health. I don't know if you have fit.
Health.
Are you
Hard to
below
kill?
hit points? Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
negative
that's
hit points?
just Yep, she's at gonna be -5 when this happens.
Sweet.
Okay, so it's just straight health then.
Okay, straight health. Hard to kill. Would
Nope,
that
that's
add
just
one?
that's just
Nope.
against death checks.
Okay.
Hard to subdue, I think, would apply there.
I don't think she has that. She does not. She
Yay,
succeeds.
she didn't pass out. And that's when everything went to hell because the PCs started fighting one another.
How fast is Copper Tongue at the moment?
Oh, she is freaking slow. She's still at half move dodge.
Alright, so Cern, being really quick, he's going to be backing off, keeping his distance.
And she's
So
just going to
he's
follow along for a while and just be like, I'm going to get you. Stay still.
Holy crap, she is really slow right now.
Oh,
That
yeah.
half move, half dodge puts her at move of 1.
Yeah.
Woo.
Look, I'm sorry. Look, we love you. Just saying, we shouldn't be splitting the spoils anything but even. Now,
He's just
now
gonna wait
settle
you out until you pass out.
settle down before
Yeah,
you hurt yourself some more.
Yeah, she'll realize that this is like it's not going to happen right now, and she'll just eventually just like swing a hand in his direction and say, "Bah!"
Queenie, you can stomp on his nuts later when he's asleep and you're feeling better. I'll even help. I'll just hold him down for a while.
Yeah, Enfys, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you?
So now Coppertop's taking a swing at half the party.
Has she? Who has she not taken a swing at? Well, she
I
does
don't think
have.
she's attacked me yet.
No.
She does have a bad temper and odious personal habit. She's very gruff, but then that's a
Yep.
dwarf thing.
Yeah,
Actually, I
it's a
think
dwarf
both
thing.
of them are dwarf.
She also
things.
holds grudges. So sorry, Surin.
Søren's going to be sleeping and then just wake up screaming, holding his nuts.
Yeah,
Probably.
sorry.
No, Soren's going to get injured one day and she's going to start wanting to charge you.
Okay, so following morning, you will be able to set out from Ubersreik, and you will be able to follow a road that will take you directly to Ubersreik. Notably, when you are mobile again, or are you kind of the two bandits? The Lord Rickard has spoken to the seneschal. So in the morning, when the bandits are pulled out of the jail, they are definitely have the nice evil shackle, ugly, heavy shackles on that. You know, so but they're still being pulled along, but now it's no longer rope. You will be able to arrive in Ubersreik again late in the day. And this Ubersreik, it is a city that or a town that is split in the center with a nice big river. I actually have the not planning on necessarily staying here long, but they have cool maps.
We have to stand at the hill when we first see it and say the name.
It's only a model.
Ubersreik.
So you at Lord Rickard's suggestion, you will proceed directly to the precinct area or district, which is where the town hall is and such like that. And upon learning that you have survived and returned with Fat Farlesbag's head in slushy box now because the stuff is sort of mostly melted.
Well, it is winter.
It's late winter, yeah. It's about to turn into spring. But yeah, it's still fairly cold. You will be acclaimed as most excellent bandit hunters and bandit slayers and such like that. And as he declared, you will be given the full bulk of the 50 crowns. So since there are 5 of you, they are presumably going to split those into each of you gets 10, which is pretty significant. Pretty significant amount of money. For many days, you will be the talk of Ubersreik, and so for most of a month, you will basically have the equivalent of reputation 4 within Ubersreik, as the bandit slayers.
That's
That
a lot of
will-
free beer right there.
That will trickle off and finally fade away to nothing by the end of the month. However, if you end up wanting to burn a character point to get a permanent +1 rep, that is possible. I'm not sure if anybody is planning on that or even wants to. But you are correct there, Giger. That is a lot of free beer. Where it's like you enter a tavern and you are recognized and people are like as and they buy some of your buy your ale for a while. At this point, there will be something of a brief time skip. It's about a month. Actually, it looks like it's going to be just under a month. It's like 2 days or something like that, under a month. So you will be able to conduct some purchasing, which I believe nearly everyone was planning on doing. There were also a couple of the characters who were going to be trying to rent out some space to do some some crafting. I believe that's both that's Christoph and Coppertong.
Coppertong will do that after she gets medical help to hopefully get back all of her health.
Yeah, how long is
Okay.
that going to take?
Well, as noted, you can go to they don't actually have an official thing about how much it costs to, it's like if you go to a place and donate and the sisters, do some healing magic on you. Is there a thing for purchasing that in like Dungeon Fantasy?
I thought there was.
Do you know where it would be at?
I would expect that to be in DF2.
Now the big question
somewhere
is,
where it talks about town.
now the big question is like, do I already have DF2 open? That's not it. That's not it. That's 16, so that's not 2. Let's see here. Master, no, 2 is about the actual dungeon. Actual dungeon
Right,
crawling.
but that's the operations book.
Maybe if you use as a baseline the cost of like hiring a physician, and then obviously the church, would be
Well,
maybe
I think
cheaper
that's
than
what
that.
it is.
Well, I'm just wondering if they had a thing where it's like you go to a place and go, hey there, father/sister, I need some magical healing. And they go, well, what was that I just saw? Oh, that's past the
Oh,
plate now.
You're saying casting the spells versus the actual
Exactly.
physician healing.
Correct.
Dungeon Fantasy RPG does have something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they do.
I
for
want to
sure.
say it's 50 GURPS.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything in there. Well, what's the benefit? It's like you spend the 50 GURPS and then what?
You get a healing spell.
Yeah, versus like 1 day per hit point.
I'm just trying to
Like
find it.
more instantaneous.
Yeah. Okay. So while you're looking at that, I will continue with some stuff. So midway through the month, a great owl will arrive outside wherever Soren is sleeping, and clearly the archmagus to whom you owe your debt has sent the beast to collect. And from past experience, he has very quickly learned that if he does not pay his 7 shillings 6 pennies this month, then he's going to get like unluckiness that will act like reverse luck. This is what you get for stealing from a wizard.
Yeah, wizards suck.
What?
So, with regards to Ubersreik, some of the PCs are actually relatively local to the region and will know some of this already, but obviously the players probably will not. So, until recently, the Duchy of Ubersreik was ruled by House Jungfried, who were growing really rapidly in wealth and authority in the area, although they were still at odds with the Bretonnian dukes to the south. So naturally, they're fighting with the French. About 2 months ago, however, Karl Franz, the crown prince of the Reichland and the emperor, he passed a midnight edict through the Reichland Diet to frankly seize Ubersreik from the dukes. Conveniently, one may even say suspiciously so. The Emperor's army was poised relatively close to Ubersreik to enforce this nice little maneuver, which strongly indicates this was no spur of the moment thing. But it completely stripped the Jungfrieds from power. They managed to escape. They have fled to a different locale. So as a result, this sort of uproar has caused a lot of the Reichland noble houses to start freaking the hell out because they're terrified that the Emperor is going to do this to them as well. But reaction inside Ubersreik itself has been kind of mixed until the Altdorf soldiers have sort of not done a particularly great job. Altdorf is the Imperial army. They haven't done a particularly great job of not being jerkwads. So as a result, the town itself is like really, really, really tense, and every time since most of you, not most of you, but some of you are like, not from here. When you're moving from place A to place B, you're like, oh, is a riot about to break out? Oh, hey, these people are going to buy me ale. Do I care? I don't think I care.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a little crazy here.
Do we have to pay cost of living since it's a month?
I'm gonna say no for this month, simply based off of the reputation stuff, where it's like you show up into a tavern or an ale house or something like that, and there's going to be enough people that are super happy to see the bandit slayers or one of the bandit slayers that your room and board will end up mostly being covered for the evening, or everybody is so passed out at the end of it that nobody notices that you sleep there. Did you
Right.
did you find that in Dungeon Fantasy, Ronky?
No, not yet. I was
Boo.
doing my debt thing.
Oh.
How well do we know each other prior to the start of the campaign?
Not super well. But you have had basically a bit of time to get to know one another, and this is that is actually something I was going to probably end up going with, where it's like near the end of the month, it's like, why has the group has decided to stay together for some reason? What is that reason?
All right. Well, Søren is a nice guy, ish. So, he knows that Copper Tongue is dirty with him at the moment. So one day he'll turn up with a cask of whatever Copper Tongue likes to drink, and give that to her and say, "We good?" And if she says no, he'll turn up the next day and say, "We good?"
Maybe she needs flowers too.
Oh no, the cask, yeah, but she'll take the cask and she won't offer you any because she's greedy.
That's okay. I bought this
That's
second
funny.
one just in case you didn't accept the first.
Yeah, actually, at some point, probably early in the in our stay in Ubersreik, Jorg will probably have everybody together, so we could all have a pint or 5 together, and
Hail the victorious dead.
all that. And at some point, he will actually bring up the idea of maybe we should sign a charter, become a Brothers at Arms contract because, mine is gone now.
So sad. Oh yeah, the bandits were totally taken off, judged harshly, and then promptly executed.
Hung up by their scrotums.
It was
Did we get a
suitable-
bonus?
It was suitably gory. For that's appropriate for the time because man, some of their random executions are pretty brutal. It's like, okay. There was you can totally try to talk them into giving you a bonus.
I think he will try, and he'll just try to be like, hey, like I've been working these areas for last several years. Usually, the constable or whatever the title is, gives an appropriate number of coins per bandit. So that'll be maybe his fast talk. That's what I have.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
we're totally going to check and see if we get a reward for those guys.
Let's see. Well, I'm not particularly great at fast talk. If anybody wants to step in, but that's where he's coming in with his argument. Christoph.
Might be Soren is the fast talker.
Okay, Dungeon
Thank you.
Fantasy Exploits, page 62. Basic
that.
healing is 2 GURPS per hit points to a maximum of 100.
Exploits.
Per hit points to a maximum of 100 GURPS.
Okay. I don't have a PDF for that. That's in the
Nah.
actual Dungeon Fantasy thing. That's why I'm sitting here going through here going, I don't have a Dungeon Fantasy exploits. I got
What page was
1
it?
adventures, 2 dungeons, 3 next level.
62.
Okay, I guess I just
Under
didn't get
yes, the temple is open.
that far. All right, I've got all those things.
Okay, so say that again, what it was?
2 GURPS per hit point healed. Up to a maximum of 100 GURPS, so 50 hit points.
What? Just put it in a note.
Oh, sorry, no. It says 100 for all hit points healed. I shall copy it.
Okay, so if that's the case, Queen can donate 28 GURPS and get back to full hit points.
That's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not every place will have that sort of stuff, so keep that in mind.
How much is a GURPS?
That's
Is that a
that's the
copper?
finning. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the finning. The penny.
That's cheap.
Yeah, that does seem kind of cheap.
I'm not complaining.
Quick before they find out.
Yeah, you should probably put potions on your list of things to buy. Speaking of buying and selling things, Jorg is going to sell his existing leather for scraps, seeing as I don't think anybody actually needs it. Oh, and also I meant to ask if anybody wanted a spear. Perfectly serviceable spear, but I don't need it anymore. Figure maybe one of the back row guys might be interested.
It's not. Okay, so with regards to Christoph and Coppertongue for the renting of the the stuff. I believe I commented how guilds are super powerful in the Empire, but since so normally you would go there, they're like, are you part of insert whatever guild this is? So it'd be like, are you part of the Smiths Guild? Nope, then get the hell out of my face. Or are you part of the Carpenter Guild? Get the hell out of my face. But with the craziness that has taken over Ubersreik of late, you will probably be able to rent the area. It will be it looks like it's probably going to be a crown for like a couple weeks that you can rent for that time period. So it's not cheap, but it will have all of the tools and such like that that you will need. You'll still need to provide any actual raw materials. So I believe when I was I did not quite finish, but I was poking around with the Low-Tech 3, page 25, with regards for Christoph, where he was talking about. Who just timed out?
Looks like
Okay.
Nosh.
So I was looking at for FX. I was looking for the materials and trying to calculate how much that stuff would count to build or to craft the bow. I think based off of Low-Tech 3, you would probably need to spend about 33 GURPS in raw material, based off of the stuff, which I'm still not 100% positive that's right. Because it's like I said, when buying wood, you calculate the price per pound by its dimension. So I was
think,
thinking,
and there,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and then I saw where you said, like, typically like bows and whatnot, like ×3 costs. There's also a section where it says if it's made out of mostly made out of one type of material, like spears, bows, it might be like 75% of the cost is in materials versus the labor.
Yes, I think that's right. But it said composite bows requires 3 times raw material. I didn't see the labor thing. So,
but before I start going down that route, I mean, did I get a chance to just see if it's available?
It will not be available. I can tell you that simply because there's no call for that. It's really, really strong.
Okay.
I mean, you can like pay a guy to figure out how to make one.
Excuse me. Well, I'm not particularly great at crafting. So I mean, he would rather commission somebody to make one for me rather than build it, make himself. Unless that's just not an option, then of course, last resort, he'll make one.
Sorry, were you talking about the bow thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had pointed out that strength 14 is on the low end of a war bow, a typical war bow. So there probably are some that strong. Now, not 17 or 15 specifically, but 14 probably.
Yeah, I don't know who's got the healing thing here.
That was Runky had that.
You can straight away get rid of resurrection. That is not an option.
Can't afford it anyway.
No, I mean it does not exist. And I may end up having to adjust this because I'm not entirely sure that's right. It's probably going to be a bit more expensive. Yeah, I mean, Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it is. I guess it's potentially possible it would be present. It just 15 seems like a really strong bow.
Like I said, 14 is 100 pounds draw. That's strong, but it's not that strong. Now, you don't need that for hunting. So it is a military weapon.
In which case, the legal stuff kicks in, and I haven't even bothered looking at the stuffs for what the towns are. I don't even think that matters in this setting. I guess you can have him make a universe reaction roll to see.
And I
But
get
it's
the
gonna need to
+4
be.
for our reputation.
That's an
Well-
interesting question. I was gonna apply a penalty, but that's a good point.
I might as
Add
well ride the bandwagon while I can.
2. Yeah. Go ahead and add 2 instead, because I was going to apply a -2 penalty. But yeah, I like that with the you've got the temporary reputation bonus, right? Like, hey, you're one of those guys.
And this is for what am I rolling for? Specifically to
Universe
see if
reaction.
it's available,
Yeah, to see if
Or-
it's available.
or to see if I could find somebody to make it from.
Yes. My answer to both of those is yes.
Because I mean, I'll go with I prefer to find it. If I can't find it, I'll find somebody who can craft it. And if I can't find somebody who craft it, then fuck it, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah,
even though
I'd
it's
say
stuff.
Because what I'm thinking is like good is you can find good and higher. You can find somebody who can make that one, and then
Okay.
and then the one that's higher than good. I don't remember what it is. Very good. Is it very good?
All right.
It's actually available.
I'm rolling it. Let's go for it. Let's see.
I think it takes years to make them. Well, they might have material on hand though.
A bow?
Here's
They
It's
might.
going to take years to make bows.
I think it does actually.
well,
I mean, not necessarily by GURPS standards, but in real life, I think it takes years to make something.
I don't think that's accurate, but okay, sure.
yeah, the GURPS
Takes
is
a really long
basically the labor cost divided by the monthly rates, which is like 0.55 or something like that. Okay, let me just roll. +2, and then you said a reaction modifier, a reaction roller. Sorry,
Yes.
rolling high is good. I
Very
rolled a
good.
16.
You have
Holy shit.
successfully found a guy who has the bow that you want. Boyer, Wikipedia. These boyers could reportedly make an English longbow in as little as 2 hours.
Or maybe they just had one available that their client, somebody fell through, the order fell through, and I was in luck.
Okay, I see what you're thinking of. Composite horn bows, Daniel. Those, yeah. Because you've got many layers of sinew and stuff like that. So it does kind of depend on the bow itself, the kind of bow. All right, so I guess in that case you can you're like, oh, hey, this is exactly what I was looking for.
Sweet. How do I find that on the character sheet without having to, create it? I can create it.
Hold on, let me actually see. That's just going to be.
Oh, right. You don't have
composite.
all of those shared.
Yeah, I thought I had it turned on. I guess not.
Well, it's
so
on,
that's
but I
just
don't
gonna
think
be,
you shared them all.
I think I did earlier today. So that's just going to be composite strength 15.
A reflex bow is what it's called in low tech. I don't know.
Which I think is just a composite 15. I don't know if there's any difference.
It's different from the composite bow.
And how
That's
is
in
it
low tech.
different? I did not see any difference.
It's got a 3 accuracy, 900 costs versus a 2 accuracy, 600 costs. And the damage is different, and the range is different.
Yeah, the composite bow is typically a reference to the Turkish types. Well, okay, no, reflex bow is the Turkish type. So reflex bow is the one that bends forward when it's not strung.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not actually sure. Now thinking that if that's the Turkish, I'm not even sure if those would be available here. Doesn't matter. He rolled a thing. Okay, so but it's based off of the composite 15. So I'm just going to drag the composite 15 onto your sheet, and then you can adjust it to match what the appropriate stuff is. How's that sound?
Okay.
I dragged it on the wrong person. You
Okay.
are not Soren.
Oh,
Not today.
And Soren is like, what the hell? How did this up? His sticky fingers got ahead of him. He borrowed your bow. Okay, so I added it on there and then just adjusted accordingly.
let me look at it.
So based off of the stuff everybody is doing their buying and selling and such like that, I think
Right.
everything that everybody was actually looking for was available. I didn't see any issues with the stuff that people had or were looking for.
What are we gonna get for sales? Half, less than half,
Yes, it's generally half,
just half.
unless someone goes in there and does the sale thing. And how's that work again? I don't remember how that works again. Damn it, I didn't want to do.
It's
Did
like
not want
once
to
a week.
do.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to do Walmart D6.
You can, I think you can use merchant, and you roll for every. Oh, actually, no, I can't remember now.
I think
it's
the easy way was if you win, you get 10%.
Yeah, when two merchants haggle, the GM may settle the quick contest winner, add or subtract 10% of fair value.
And I think you can take, for every additional 5% or something like that, you take a penalty to your merchant roll. It's something like that.
That's not in raw. I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to stick with the 10% for now. I will look that up. That's probably in social engineering. I'll make a note and look at that as well.
You might want to refer to Dungeon Fantasy first in that case.
I believe that Copper Tongue has merchant. She may be the best at that. So
I've got
Ironically.
merchant as well, but it's at 12.
Cern has 12 as well.
Queen's got merchant at 14. But you have to account for my dice being stupid.
And also her being unlikable.
Yeah. Assuming the rules that I put in Discord were okay.
yeah, if you wanted to use those.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not going to be any better here.
You say that.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, so
I would
with
lose.
that regard, she failed the merchant roll and then failed the smith thing as well.
Yeah. So she would lose, you said half of the stuff, so I figured half of the anvil bits would go.
Yep.
Okay.
That's rough.
All right. Duly noted.
You can make a smaller anvil.
It'd be a tiny anvil.
Gonna have to. Okay. All right. So, does anybody have any other stuffs that they were trying to, wanting to purchase, or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
would
Yeah.
be-
All the stuff that was that you had listed on Discord, I was fine with that. So you
Yeah,
can go ahead.
as well as sending the bunch of letters to the various wizards.
Okay.
So we'll have to figure out a cost for that. And then I'd like to, in the month, to find someone who can teach me how to shoot this crossbow.
Oh, I can do that. I actually have teaching.
Did I not? Yeah, so I think I said with regards to the letters that he wanted to send, like to the Bright College and Altdorf and various wizards and such like that, you can burn through a crown to do that. So that's like 240 GURPS. So
Right.
you'll be able to send those out, because in my face-to-face game, I sort of ruled that it costs like a shilling to send a letter via the various coach lines, and hopefully it'll get where it's supposed to go.
And that was 200 groupies?
Yes.
Okay, done.
Does anybody have anything on the party sheet currently that they wanted to keep?
Well, I'll take the rest of the crossbow bolts, unless somebody else wants them.
Because although I don't see it, I know that the GM at least has a button on there that he can push, and it will basically convert everything to money.
I wonder how that's going to work in this case.
I think it'll split it up correctly.
Okay, so
You can hold
I'm-
down Shift or Control when dragging from the
Yeah, one
party
of 'em.
sheet, and you take the whole lot.
Excellent, thank you.
all right, so I will hit the sell items and see what happens. Unless somebody else is going to
Actually,
grab.
I might
Yep.
grab some leather armor.
Okay. Oh, there are 6 suits. You probably don't want to get the really fat one.
Unless you want to make a tablecloth out of it or something.
Okay, all good.
All good.
Drum roll.
Into the
let's
shredder.
Let's see how this works. Nope, it put it all in GURPS.
Oh, well, I guess you can split that up.
Yeah, I have to do maths. Actually, no, I don't have to do maths. I go over here to this thing that has the actual character sheets for Warhammer Fantasy, and I plug in 1599.
Oh, that's cheating.
Go gear, brass pennies, 1599 tab. That turns out to be 6 crowns, 13 shillings, 3 pennies.
I think there is an option to distribute the money
Yeah, I thought there was.
evenly to the characters as well.
Because I thought I had used that in Sea Dogs.
Dungeon Fantasy has a 10% discount on the merchant roll.
That's the distribute assignments and coins, I suspect.
Sounds about right.
but I'm not sure how it's going to actually work in this case. Is it going to actually split all of those correctly?
Well, everyone note what you've currently got.
Dang, I can't. I was hoping I could just well, can I jigger it that way? Oh, hey, I can. I can resize the party sheet and screen grab what it says everybody has.
I've already screen grabbed. Oh, okay. Yours is better.
This is also cheating. Bunch of cheating bastards.
How is that cheating? Wow, Copper Tongue already has. Did you guys already put the rest of your money, or did you already spend it?
I put my money in and marked down what I spent on like the helmet and shield and that kind of stuff. So all mine should be.
I needed to rebuild the party inventory to get the proper stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That still seems odd, but okay. All right, so I'm going to hit the button and see what happens. I hit the button.
Yay.
Seems like it worked.
It did not. It left 4 shillings and 3 pfennig in the
It's probably the
description.
change.
Yeah. Wow. All right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't actually have crowns, though.
Something else to keep in mind. There's at least 2 PCs that have compulsive spending.
2? Really?
Yep. It is, I believe it's Enfys and Soren, which actually totally works for Soren. It makes perfect sense why he's like never able to pay off his debt, because he's like, oh crap, I spent all my money. I wanted to see what that compulsive spending is. This raises your cost of living. Oh, wow. Okay. That's going to be interesting because I wasn't sure if I was going to bother with the.
How much does it increase the
living.
cost of living?
It's where the hell did I just saw that? This raises your cost of living. Oh, it depends on what the self-control number is. I believe both of you have 12, so cost of living increase is 20%. And if you make a merchant skill check, you are at -2.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
so you
both
guys are probably okay. Okay. Get to the actual adventure now, maybe.
So 20% cost of living is 600, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to arbitrarily spend 1 gold crown.
I'll do the same. I want to keep
living large. Living large.
In fact, I'm just going to shadow Soren, and it's like a scene in what was the comedy, Mr. Bean, where he was trying to out-eat somebody next to him at a table. I'm going to do the same thing.
Well,
that seems like a bad idea.
That's going to cause a feedback loop because Soren's going to try and outdo you.
So you guys are going to end up completely broke and like, where did you spend all your money? I was like, yeah, here and there. Yeah,
you know
it's speaking of that, there's actually an amusing rule in the Warhammer Fantasy setting, or Warhammer Fantasy roleplay in the 4th edition. They call it money to burn, and it's basically like after every adventure, so not session but adventure, you need to make sure that you spend all of your money and stuff like that, because when the next adventure starts, you've spent it all. And it's like, well, what happened to it? It's like, it was spent. You drank it. Some of it was stolen. You gambled some of it away. Even though your armor was in badly need of repair, you spent it all on ale and whores.
Søren definitely spent it a lot of his stuff on whores.
Well, hold on, let me check something, Christoph, with regards to the question. I shared those. Did I? Where is equipment? I thought I made that available.
So
Basic
I mean,
equipment
okay.
is, you should be able to, player load is allowed.
So I click on items. Is that where I go? And then I see a little
Yes.
chart, and it's
Is
got
there
like,
anything there?
it's got arrow, bodkin, boots. It's got a few things, but not like,
Okay,
not a full
that's just
list.
going to be the stuff that I dragged and dropped. So you're going to need to go to the modules
Okay.
and look for
Modules.
the GURPS basic set - equipment.
I don't have that. I have mods,
Yeah.
effects. I don't have traits.
Make
Should
sure
be
you're
third one down on the left.
Warhammer Fantasy Calendar.
Wow, you guys actually see that? Huh.
I see basic mods. I see effects. I see calendar. I see traits and abilities, chases, and tables. Those are the
Odd.
only modules I see.
Well, that's weird, because that's like, it says that player load is available.
Do I need to click on something? Let me try again.
It was showing up for me. Then again, I might have downloaded it at one point.
Well, if the jam is set it
Oh,
with the little
okay, hold on. So then I click on activation.
yes,
Load equipment. Now I see it. Load
basic set and
spells.
equipment.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You were looking at that other screen.
Now I see it. Okay.
Okay,
Huh.
so most of the
Items.
stuff should be in there. If it's not, make a list and maybe
Okay,
send it to me
cool.
through Discord, and I can add it on there.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. Okay, so it is early spring as you are passing through the Artisans Quarter, not far from the Tufel River. And suddenly the weather just turns foul. It's like unexpected squall. It's raining super hard. It's got like heavy driving rain. So it's like most everybody scatters and goes for some sort of cover and sort of to wait it out. So you've got people who are like, that are actually out there selling stuff. They're like quickly throwing tarps over the stuff. And as the lot of you are, looking around trying to maybe escape the rain or something like that, you will hear a voice calling out. It says, "Infus Loom. I'm sinking one Infus Loom."
Being a little overly
Okay.
dramatic, aren't they?
And as you just sort of glance around, like, wait, what? You'll see a dude who's got like, really big backpack, large backpack, high wooden frame. It looks like he's got covered, looks like he's some sort of courier or something, and he's like carrying a whole bunch of stuff. And he's just like, looking around. It's like, Infus Loom. Does anybody know an Infus Loom?
I walk over and say, I do.
And he goes, oh, excellent. Could you direct me to this person? I have a
Sure.
delivery for him.
Well,
I need
I'm
you
the
to
guy
sign
you're
for
looking
this.
for. I'm the guy you're looking for.
Oh, okay. And he will, he's like, oh, very good, very good. He's like, Fritz the Fleet at your service. You're Master Loom. All right, very good. I have a package for you. And he produces this. He's got this fairly large parcel. It's heavily sealed, bound up multiple strings of varying thickness. It's got a number of wax seals on it. It's like, I was charged with delivering Ubersreik for a human to be found along the Tufel. Some kindly souls pointing me in your direction. I understand you're fairly, something of a celebrity at the moment.
Well, of course I am.
And he breaks out this little leather book, and he's like, I need you to sign here, or make make your sign if you are unable to read.
Oh, make my sign. I'll sign with my signature, my good friend.
It's like, very good, very good. And he double checks, like, okay, and he hands you this fairly heavy box, and you realize, this dude's clearly quite accustomed to traveling in pretty crappy weather, because he's just been standing there in the rain, not really thinking about it. It's like, well, thank you very much, sir, and have a pleasant day. And he sort of turns and starts, it's like ruffles through his bag, and he like pulls out something else and starts calling out for another name.
I look around, and if any of the party are watching, I say loud enough for people to hear, hey, everybody, it's another preserved head. Awesome. Let's add it to our collection. And I'll go walking off to wherever I'm staying.
And that is absolutely going to get a lot of people looking at you like, what? Preserved head, what?
Ah, the memories.
Good times.
So as it stands, a lot of you were like, heading towards a tavern that was still, well, relatively decent. Some of you were fairly pleased from your recent purchases. Some of you, or activities. Some of you less so, like Coppertong. She seems to be in a persistently foul mood, possibly worse than normal, and muttering under her breath in Dwarfish.
Yep, that's pretty much it. She mad.
What's this word mean in Dwarfish? Ruined.
That's not what that word means. That particular rune means junk. Okay, so you proceed to. I guess you guys proceed to the tavern, or are you going off by yourself, Enfys?
Well, I'm going to go off by myself to my room so I can find out what's in my box.
Okay. Everybody else going to the tavern, I suppose. Although,
If I'm not
here
already
is
there.
Christoph and Soren should both give me a curious check, because he just got something wrapped up in a box.
What's in the box?
Hey, Krista, what you got there?
I'll be like a cat and I'll just throw my nose in the air and start walking away without saying anything.
Saren will file and say, you should open it. See what they sent you.
And once I get to my room, I mean, if they want to come in, they're welcome to come in.
Unless you slam the door in our face.
No, no, no. When I open it and it explodes, we can all go together.
Exactly.
What is it? What is it?
All right.
Let's find
so
out.
This beneath the outer layers of packaging and various wax seals lies a beautifully crafted but seemingly solid wooden box. The exterior is made of a darkly stained and varnished wood. Interestingly, it is marked with some strange sigils and some scratches, indicating, well, travel damage.
Well,
The
that's
box-
courier business for you.
Yep. The box appears to have neither seams nor hinges of any kind, so it's like clearly some sort of puzzle box.
Ooh, a puzzle box.
All right. If you wish to puzzle it out, that will be an IQ -2 check to solve. Though if you have some sort of other skill that you think absolutely would be appropriate,
Huh.
somebody
Lock
goes, I
picking?
got carpentry. But it has no seams nor hinges. So where would you, how would you lockpick that?
Well, Søren's going to be hovering over Enfys's shoulder, and he'll offer his IQ for assistance, so it's IQ -2.
Yep. And
He'll say, turn it that way.
Infants, as you are, manipulating this thing, messing around with it, you will definitely be able to tell that there is some sort of spell that has been woven into the contents of this thing.
I think you should just smash it open. Faster.
Okay, so can I use my thaumatology to figure out what's going on?
Sure. You can make a check. Put it through the box, please. Or I need to stop saying box. It's a skull.
Since Søren has the skill, he'll roll as well.
Soren is not aware that it's magical. Infus you're like, it's tantalizingly familiar, but you're not entirely sure what it is. It could be, and then in your head you start listing the various things that it could be, and it's a pretty long list. It's like, oh well, this thing could be, it could explode. It could just be a warning. It could be a protective thing, not a protective thing. Yeah, I guess it'd be a protective thing, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Do I get a bonus to my IQ for this roll?
Yes, based off of his success, you will be +1. So I guess it'd be just -1, IQ -1.
Whoa.
You tried to fail, bro, by 0. All right. So somehow Soren was actually useful in that case. So that's kind of suspicious. How does he know about these puzzle boxes? He's probably thinking, I stole one of these once and it got me into a lot of trouble. So you play around with it, and you are able to find a series of really, really cleverly concealed panels that sort of slide out, and then the whole thing will finally open and unfold. And you're like looking at it, you're like, wait a minute. because there are like 4 really tightly sealed jars filled with something. There's a small urn that has a lid that is rather ornately carved, but it's like in the head of a jackal with the lid. And the jars themselves are all marked with like sigils that look like they were look and probably smell a little bit like they were marked with or drawn with blood. And you will also see a small pouch that as you glance at that contains worryingly really small finger bones.
This is curious. Okay, once again, what could I do out of my skill base? Occultism, thaumatology.
Sure, you can
Give
do
me
occultism, but thaumatology would work, whichever. Both of those would work in this case.
in the skull.
Sure. In the skull. I totally dig the skull. So let's see. So, as you're looking at the urn, you are sort of like vaguely. It reminds you of a far distant. Now I got to say this word, Nehekara. It's like an ancient empire that's like mostly gone, but it is obsessed with the dead, which kind of implies that this may have something to do with necromancy, which is not good at all.
Fascinating and unsettling.
Yes, because possession of necromancy stuff is like, sorry, if a witch hunter finds that out, you're going straight to the pyre. But you don't know what any of this stuff is. Maybe maybe you need to open it.
Well, now,
I mean, you've got some jars, you've got an urn, you've got some little itty bitty finger bones.
this is all very curious.
Who did you piss off, and why would they be sending you something like this?
Oh, probably to set me up, hoping that someone would see me with this in my possession. I suspect this is none other than the works of my nemesis.
That seems like, maybe.
You have a nemesis?
I have a nemesis.
So this is really complicated. I mean, is he that smart?
Well, I don't know. He could be that dumb. Yes, Soren, I have a nemesis.
This is a story I want to hear.
His name is Hans Peter Schiller. I actually want to find another nemesis so I can start saying Nemesi. Back to the point.
I think that's Nemesis.
Or nemesis, says a voice from the ether. However you pronounce it, one's enough for now.
Does that mean if I represent a number of your nemesis, I would be the nemissary?
Ah, it's possible. See, here's the thing. Pat Farlesberg, my brother had a wanted poster of him curled up in his belongings. I questioned my brother's teacher, but that wizard refused to answer my questions. I suspected that perhaps Hans Peter Schiller, the jealous apprentice, maybe was behind the killing of my master.
Hold on, I need to look at something really quickly. Give me. Wait a minute. Nope, I completely. Something that actually just abruptly after sort of occurs to Infus, and he's realizing he's probably had entirely too much alcohol of late because he should have thought of this beforehand. But when you start explaining to Soren and possibly Kristoff, because I think both of them failed and tagged along, as you're explaining your background story, it occurs to you that your brother's mentor is a woman, and she's kind of blonde, and she has mismatched eyes.
Aha.
Oh, that sounds like the woman that turned up to Fat Falsburg that month back.
Dang.
That's right.
I just realized I screwed something up on my. I was about to share the image, and I'm gonna go ahead and share the image because Enfys has actually interacted with her, but that last name is wrong. It's supposed to be an N at the end. It's Herzen, not Herzer. It's like, damn it.
See,
fix that.
I knew she was gorgeous.
She was also kind of creepy.
Well, maybe I'm into creepy gorgeous.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm holding a box with tiny bones and strange vials of liquids.
So Soren has
You're
impulsive.
not sure.
Not creepy unless you start licking it.
Actually, the jars they don't feel like they're liquid. At least one of them seems to be more something else. It's not liquid. Something solid, but like sand or something like that. Yeah, you were saying Soren has impulsive?
Yeah, Soren has impulsive, so I imagine that means he's somewhat ADHD. So he's quickly losing interest in this story that's being told, and he just says, all right, so what does all this mean?
Dang,
I have no idea. I got to find out who sent this to me.
Let's go find the delivery guy. The ups dude.
It's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that when he gave me the damn box?
Or you've also got the boxes or the wrapping itself.
Return to sender address.
Can you actually read, Soren?
Yes, he can. Reichspiel.
Okay, so the first thing that occurs to you when you're looking at it is you do not think this that Infus is the E name. It's like kind of smeared out like it's been rain, but it looks like it's E something gloom, but it's probably not Infus loom.
I wonder if I'm going to get charged for opening somebody else's mail.
Hold on, I just discovered something that I didn't realize was in there. Or
Did you
an
say
image.
chard?
Do you have any family in town? Siblings?
I don't know. Do I, GM?
Because
Probably not. Probably not. Normally, because you're originally from Bretonia.
so Soren will show the address. He says, because this is not your name.
You're right.
This
Now-
looks like it's someone else's package.
Ew, that does look creepy.
Yeah, it's like I totally skipped past that image. I'm like, oh damn! I wish I'd noticed that picture. I was incorrect. The urn does not have a lid that has the jackal on it. It's like stylized on the side. That one does sort of slosh around a little bit.
Huh. So let's take a look at that name on the package again.
Yep.
So you just grabbed another guy's package.
Well, of course I did. Okay. Can we
You
decipher
said
the name?
package.
You know, Copper Tongue just and then goes back to drinking.
Yeah, we're not there anyway.
Is there a way we can do an IQ check to decipher this name or whatever
Sure.
it is?
That sounds good. So it looks more like definitely starts with an E, but it seems like it's like only 4 letters instead of yours. It doesn't look like it has a Y. Maybe Elky or Inky. No, not in. Yeah, it's probably Elky, Elkai, something like that.
I see. I think we need to. Do we? Would area knowledge, Reichland? Is that a name I recognize at all?
That would be that'd be at a penalty because Reichland is the larger area. It's closer to, I guess it'd be like closer to the country.
Right.
Bogenhofen, not Bogenhofen. Ubersreik is the duchy itself and the city, so town.
I think we need to start asking around to find out who in this town has the name Loom. We can eliminate me.
Sir, without really thinking, being impulsive, will grab the wrapper. He says, "I'll find out," and he'll head over to the. We're in the tavern, right?
I think you and Christoph and Infis are in Infis's room.
Right.
And
Okay.
I think Jorg and Coppertongue are like downstairs in the ale house.
I'm gonna find out, and then Søren will head downstairs, go to the innkeep because the innkeep is the trader of information, of all knowledge,
Okay.
and he'll say, "This name here, is this familiar to you at all?"
Where's that at? Thought I had it. I have bartender. And I know I have an innkeeper on here somewhere. There's an innkeeper. Okay,
Well,
so let's see.
Bartender is the guy he's probably asking, not the innkeeper. Well, he'll ask both if there's one of each in this
Whoever's
place.
there.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's see what he finds out. Wow. Yeah, okay, so he doesn't know a dang thing. Isn't that the wizard guy, or the wizard's apprentice that was with the bandit slayers?
Sure. I think so. Maybe. You're the guy that's supposed to be in the know.
Yeah, he's like with you.
And I'm standing right there.
Oh, you're talking about us.
Yeah, that's who that is, right?
Sure.
I lean into Soren and say, let's find I whisper this. Let's find a smarter bartender.
Well, if you have Streetwise, you can probably use that and spend some time doing this stuff. Although I think both Coppertongue and Jorg, and probably Christoph, depending on what Christoph's doing, because I saw FX dropped off for some reason and came back. Internet woes again.
Well, FX is still in TeamSpeak.
I'm not sure, mate. It's just the fantasy grounds just timed out for some reason.
Wibbly wobbly. It's just messing with you. But yeah, so at least the three of you, if you're not immediately involved, they're going to notice that Enfys and Soren seem to be doing something suspicious or acting weird.
Hey! Supposed to be doing a team building exercise. Drinking contest.
All right, you're next on the trust fall. And we just don't tell him that he's supposed to fall backwards, not forwards.
Well, if he drinks enough, you know he's going to fall one way or the other. Actually, that might not be true because he's got alcohol tolerance. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
how much
does.
is enough is another matter.
So, yeah, I think, do you have Streetwise there, Ronky?
I do.
I think Christoph also has it.
Before we head out into the streets to be wise, I'm going to wisely cover up the box in my room.
Is there anything in the box that could be potentially valuable? That's like
Depends.
immediately valuable? Yeah, shiny stuff, gold.
Let me double check and see what it says about there. Let's see. Well, you've got several. Well, actually, you don't know what's in the jars. Those could maybe if something important is in there. The box itself looked like it's relatively expensive looking, although I'm now looking at the image and realizing that their descriptive lore or descriptive text doesn't quite match with the box itself. It's like, oh, it has no seams or hinges. I'm like, I'm looking at your seams and hinges, guys. The larger urn probably looks the most expensive out of the lot because the urn itself looks like it's a very high quality manufacture. And I also updated your perk there, Jorg. The tolerance. It's a +2 on all health rolls related to drinking.
Well, very well. I'll take the urn with me and hide the box in the room as best I can.
Okay. Are the two of you? Okay, I see Soren succeeded by 4 on the streetwise. Are the lot of you bringing the other members of this semi-group to into this craziness, or are you just handling it all by yourself?
CERN will bring others.
Sounds good.
I'm going to go talk to this dude I know. He's a bit of a shifty fella. It would make me more comfortable if someone else came along with me.
Well, I'm coming with you.
Right. So is it just the two of you, or are you taking Christoph and Jorg and Coppertongue?
I think just the two of us should go.
CERN is not going to object to others if they wanted to come along, but he wants at least one backup. He needs someone that can run slower than him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you better bring the dwarf.
Okay. Right. So I need to know who's going, who's not, and those who are not, what are you doing? Are you just saying, screw this noise, I'm going to get drunk? Crap. That may need to make a check for Jorg for that, right?
Only if he tries not to.
All right, so Soren is going, obviously. Sounds like Enfys is going. What about FX or Christoph? Is Christoph going FX?
I think he will be going because he wants to be like alone, but I think his curiosity is gonna win out.
Okay. Jorg, are you going? Or are you like, screw those dudes? I have ale.
Well, the good thing about ale is it's portable.
It's portable. Yes.
Until you're out.
Until I run out. I mean, if everybody's going, I'll go. I'll take some beer with me.
Right. Then I was going to ask Mel if Copper Tongue was also tagging with.
Yeah, Copper Tongue will have hoist a keg and keep Jörg properly inebriated.
Inebriated, even.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? That's tipsy. So yeah, that's right. I do have the. Is it a note? Yes, I have drinking and intoxication. How much alcohol has he drank?
There's no telling.
-1 per drink over strength divided by 4 that hour. -2 on an empty stomach, or +1 if you've recently eaten, +2 for alcohol. Oh, right. That's if you actually make it. At the end of any hour, which you consume more than strength divided by 4, what would that be? What is the strength divided by 4?
It's over 4.
Okay. We'll say you're right there on the edge.
Oh, under 4. 3 1/4.
You may have to, when you finish the next one, you may have to make some rolls. Okay, so a lot of you tramp out. It is still, well, it's no longer raining as bad. It's sort of drizzling now, which is kind of irritating, but what are you going to do? And Soren seems to be leading you into the alleys. Dun, dun, dun. And
We're so gonna die.
you have succeeded by 4 on your streetwise roll, so you are going to a guy you have met / interacted with. He's like an skinny old street preacher kind of thing. That he's generally, he'll like babble some semi prophecies and insist that it's just a joke, not a joke, a scam, but sometimes he gets that look in his eye, but he has that he's like constantly aware of nearly everybody, because most people just walk by him and don't pay a lot of attention to him. And you get there and he is sitting out there where he normally is, in the rain. He's got a battered looking hat, some raggedy clothes. Got a little bowl in front of him for donations. He looks up at your approach and just sort of waits.
Søren will drop in 5 pennies.
He's going to look at the pennies and say, "Those are 5 very small pennies."
And Enfys will immediately drop a shilling.
I like your friend much better. How can I help you, friend? As that shilling just sort of disappears into his grubby clothes.
Would this name be familiar to you at all? And what did we determine the strange letter was? Was it
It's probably Elky, like, elk with an E, or maybe
like
an I.
Elky Loom?
Yeah, definitely the surname is definitely Loom. Loom, just like Enfys, but it's that first name. He sort of squints at it, and he's like, "Well, isn't that the wizard that? Wait, aren't you the wizard?" As he's pointing to his new friend. No, wait, maybe. Elky. That seems vaguely familiar. Hold on, let me think. Yeah, there's a fisher, a river woman. She's got a boat down here on the docks. What is the name of that boat? I wish I could remember the name of that boat.
Do you have a description of this lady?
I don't know. The rain kind of makes my memory just fuzz out.
Søren's gonna go, really? We're doing this? And he'll drop a shilling into the pot.
And he snaps. He's like, "Yes, I think I do remember the name of the boat. It's what is the name of the boat? Let me look. I have to look because I have it written down here. Yeah, it's the Deaf Dancer. Yes. It's here and out every now and then. And you asked for a description of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's a fisherwoman. Skinny, brown hair. Well, sort of brown hair.
Smells of fish.
Smells of fish. And it's like, as he's like doing that, you notice that his hands are definitely trembling as he's talking to you, and he's like looking at his hands like he's a little confused. But he's like, yeah, I'm fairly certain I saw her in town, or Doc, I don't know, a couple nights ago.
Something wrong? You feeling all right?
It's like, I don't know. These fits come and go every now and then it's like, he just sort of starts twitching, and it's like, his eyes roll back, and he grabs a hold of Soren's hand and immediately starts speaking, and it doesn't quite sound like his voice. And he says, "I see darkness gathering as the last house of joy falls. Beware, for shadows over Bogenhofen stir, and the face of the enemy is your face. Then, beloved Moor, resplendent in vestments of green, stands astride Sigmar's great river. Yea, I see death on the right, and I despair. For then the stained hand guides the once mighty Lord, and this power behind the throne curses us all. Lo, the horned rat then claims the broken king atop his throne of lies, and the white walls fall, leaving our empire in ruins. Tremble in fear, ye mighty, for the end times have come." And then he sort of, and just sort of collapses. He's like twitching.
As soon as the cutscene ends and Søren can act, his reaction is to be immediately punch the guy in the face.
As the guy is shaking uncontrollably with foam at his mouth, and you're like,
yeah. So this is freaking Søren out. As soon as he's done his thing, Søren punches him in the face and steps back, and goes, "What the fuck was that?"
There, Soren. No need to get violent with this poor fellow. And Enfys will reach in and retrieve his shilling.
Søren's going to be like looking at his hand. You know, he's considering his whatever that was. Is it contagious?
Maybe he was just giving you a new dooming. I don't know. He did
So,
seem to be intentionally talking to you, Soren, not to the party, but to you.
Enfys will just check his breathing, make sure he's actually, alive.
Yep. So for the players, it's definitely, it's definitely like almost an epileptic. I can't say that word. It's a fit, but he does not look like he was faking it. So unless he's really good, which is entirely possible.
So, are you okay, Soren? And I start
No, I'm not okay.
I start to shuffle him out of the alleyway or the street to get some air into his face.
That sort of shit just doesn't happen every day.
Well, either that or he's a really good actor.
You're the magic man. What sort of bullshit was that?
The Magic Man. You're now the Magic Man, Enfys.
Well, I can either
What does
roll
the
on
Magic Man say?
I can roll on occultism. I can roll on thaumatology.
And Søren's going to say, and he touched me. Am I going to be okay? Or am I going to freak the fuck out like that?
So, I ate all that dire wolf meat and I haven't turned into a wolf yet, right? So, I suspect you'll be just fine. Not that you were fine before, but you're fine.
I suspect with regards to your question there, Nosh, occultism would probably be the most appropriate.
In the skull or out of the skull?
You can do it out. I'm fine. Wow.
Ha!
By 6. That's a pretty good roll. Enfys is like all the other humans is definitely aware that prophecy does exist. I mean, you've all been gone. Well, most of you've gone through the dooming, and maybe it was like that. I mean, it's not completely out of the question that random nobodies on the street occasionally have prophecies and speak craziness and warn you of dire events looming in the horizon.
Yeah, but it's not common.
No, it's not common. It's probably kind of. I mean, what he probably found most weird is the guy seemed relatively fine until he started until he actually touched Soren, and then he sort of spazzed out. So maybe it's Soren. Maybe it's his fault.
I'll keep that information in my brain.
And then he goes, Soren, you're contagious.
So I'll keep that information in my brain pan. However, I'll say, oh, well, he could have been a conduit. Maybe he's wrapped up with this fishmongering witch. Who knows? Maybe she has some power. I think we should go down to the docks and just observe what's going on around this ship. What was the name of the ship again? The Krusty Krab?
The Deft Dancer.
The Deft Dancer.
Fine, let's go. But this time you're doing the talking.
I say just loud enough for Queenie to hear. That boat sounds like it was named after the dwarf. And then I elbow Soren in the ribs as I start walking away.
I heard that.
Okay, so sounds like you are proceeding to the docks. Well, the docks cover quite a I'm gonna reshare the map. Obviously, the docks cover quite a big part of the town on both sides of the river.
Can you ping us where we are right now?
Let's see.
It'll hurt if I do.
Yes, because you were in the artisans' quarter, so I don't know, over there-ish.
Nice.
The pinging is kind of useful for that, I have to admit.
Then I think we should go down to where would somebody with that kind of a name store a boat? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should just go down to the docks and ask someone. No.
Is there an established sort of fishing docks? You know, where you go to the fish markets and buy all your fresh fish?
Yes. Where on this map would that be?
Let's see, what do we got here?
We could go back and ask that dumb bartender, but he'd probably tell us there is no actual river in this city.
Hey, in my defense, he rolled a 17. He's been clearly, a little too heavily in his own supply. Yeah, it's just going to depend. You'll probably have to, meander about, maybe poke around, and just look for, because most of these sort of boats are going to have at least something to indicate what their name is.
Well, I think I would start north of the merchant quarter, like over there.
Okay, so you go over and you guys cross the bridge and go into that area. The rain does sort of continue. It's pretty cold rain, so that kind of sucks. But on the bright side, that's mostly keeping most people indoors, because sane people don't wander around in the freezing rain.
Infantry sunshine.
Well, it's raining, so I guess you guys are training. Okay, so let me see here. What time is it? Oh, good, plenty of time. Let's see. Let's do that. So it'll take probably about 40 minutes or so to cover the various distance. You're poking around, and you get kind of lucky, you think. You see a boat, that does in fact seem to have that name, the Deft Dancer, on it. There is a woman who is mostly pacing, like back and forth in front of the ramp that's secure, or back and forth, not the ramp, but back and forth where her boat is tied off to the docks. And she has a very anxious look on her face as she's pacing back and forth.
She could use a drink.
Can I sense any magical ability with her?
I think unless someone was actively casting, I'm gonna have to check. I think you have to touch them, but I'm
No,
not positive.
you need aura. You can't just touch someone to see if they're a spellcaster. That's only for magic items.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna have. Is aura a spell?
I believe
Yeah.
it is.
Then that is going to be one I think that is available to everyone, regardless of college, because in Warhammer Fantasy, in WFRP, they have an ability. I'm trying to remember, or the talent that lets you see that sort of stuff. Second Sight, I think it's called. and it sounds like Aura basically works similar. I will
Okay.
consult. I will make that as a note, and I will let you know afterwards. And in the event that Infus wishes to look into that later.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Right. I have made the note. I will check into that after the game. Okay, so you are fairly certain the lady who it looks like she is waiting for something that hasn't seemed to have arrived may be the person that this thing was directed to.
Okay. Well, let's not all just.
Charge over there and go.
Yes. Are you
Throw some
a
water in her
witch?
face.
Yeah. So I'm
Excuse
going
me,
to
I
pull.
got your necromantic thing.
Yeah. I'm going to pull everybody aside and just say, hey, everybody just scram a little bit. And I look at Soren and say, well, that's the boat, and there's the woman, and I have this, and I pat the container. What do you think?
Hello, miss. I seem to have accidentally grabbed your package.
Right.
We don't get anywhere by just standing around, doing nothing.
I have a cunning plan.
Well, actually, he'll say, well, Emphas, we're not here to fuck spiders. Go talk to this woman.
We could do that, or now that we know where she is, we could package everything up again and bring it to her and pretend to be the courier.
We could. I'm curious as to what it's all about.
Or do we go to the directorate?
Well, I'm not really one for subtlety in this situation.
You know what? This is a time to roll impulsiveness.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
My
yeah.
god. How many impulsive characters do we have? We're sending the two impulsive
The hell with it.
people
I'm
to Soren and Infus are the ones that are going forward, and they're the impulsive ones.
So I fail my impulsiveness check.
That's why we're here.
I say to Soren, yeah, forget that. Let's just go over there and talk to her.
Besides, she's a fisherwoman. How bad can she be?
Precisely. And then I kind of whimper. So I'll walk over to her.
Okay. She notes your approach, but doesn't seem to, it's like, who are you, or something like that. Just continue, gives you a random nod and keeps on, but once she sees that you're not like carrying anything, continues to pace and look around for someone else.
Hi there. Sorry to bother. Would you happen to be Elke Loom?
Their head's gonna snap around and look at you, and it's like, I may be.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of distressing news. However, I believe I received a package that was meant for you, And you and I share the same last name, and weirdly enough, almost the same first name if the ink on a package is blotted out.
Oh, okay.
To
Then
prove
you
what I'm
have
telling
my
you,
package.
to prove to you that I'm being honest, I withdraw the one thing from the box and say, is this something you were expecting?
Okay, so do I have
And her face melts off.
She goes very, very pale, and her eyes widen, and give me it'll be both Soren and Infus. Give me a hearing-based perception check in the box, please. In the skull,
Nice.
please.
Nice.
Soren, you will hear you can just barely make it out as she murmurs. It sounds like she's not particularly happy, but she's he opened it, and she sounds horrified. And let's see.
Cern will say, yeah, we opened it.
I have to. Oh boy. Wasn't quite expecting bluntness. I need to keep that in mind. This group is not subtle in any capacity. Way to go. That's perfect. That's not the right one.
No, we're definitely not subtle at all.
That's our band of brothers name. The Subtle Company.
It's really not. It's not even a fake one. Damn it! I can't find the thing I'm looking for now. Is that the one? No, that could work.
Did it sound like she was talking to herself, or she was whispering
Yes.
it to someone? Okay.
Talking to herself, and sounded very surprised and, like I said, horrified. And naturally, I am not finding what I am looking for. That could work.
I don't hold any particular grudges, and I'm not all that concerned, but I am curious why you would be receiving a box of necromantic stuff.
Or did we just
And-
release a horrible disease in the city?
And Cern will turn to Enfys. It was necromantic stuff, right?
Yes, it was. At least it looked pretty necro to me.
Y'all are gonna get everybody killed. I got a pretty good idea why you're not going to be in Ubersreik next week.
Yeah.
Is there where do I? Okay, maybe that's it. How do I rotate something?
Has to be a layer.
You click on it, and it'll
Got it.
bring up.
I think. Why is it rotating like that? I just wanted to rotate 90 degrees.
You're spoiling the surprise of the tactical map.
Okay, so let's see here. I got to figure out no, I'm not going to do that. She's going to snatch the thing from you unless you try to hold on to it, and urgently whisper, keep your bloody mouth shut, or keep your bloody voices low. The witch
Ooh,
hunters will come out here. They will burn everyone.
ooh. A quick contest of dexterity. Is that what I hear?
Oh boy. Okay.
Ah!
This is based off 12.
Ah!
So unless, yep. And she's like, "Where's the rest of it?" He'll go mad if I don't have the rest.
Who's he?
Keep your mouth quiet.
Okay.
Asshole.
Who's he?
Doesn't matter. Where is the rest? And, how much do you want for it? And then go away.
No. You
Oh.
could be my long lost sister. Like, what's going on? Let's go on your boat and talk about it. I'm sure that's safe.
Nobody said anything about boats.
Soren, can you snatch it back?
Yeah, that's it. You guys are going to fight over it, drop it, it breaks open, and then the disease hits the city.
Okay, I have to adjust something.
I just love the idea that there's this switching of snatching it back and forth.
I'm sorry, hold on. Necromed the what?
Yeah, Soren's gonna try and snatch it back.
Yes! Critical fail. Ooh.
Okay, off of 12.
And he'll say,
So that's tied?
Defender wins. Or actually, if it's a regular contest, we both sit there holding it.
Perfect.
Fighting over it.
Perfect. And we need to find some way to break it, because that would be hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certain nothing bad will come of that.
And
Ooh.
as we're fighting over it, Soren will say, hey, hang on, we didn't give this to you yet.
And if they're now both their hands are on it, I'm going to put my hands on it.
Something's going to explode here in a second, I think. This is going to be awesome.
Wait till the city watch come over. What's going on here?
Let's see. Does anybody have unluckiness? No. I don't think so, because that would be kind of funny. I like your idea there, Ronky. Give me a universe reaction roll. I want to see if you can screw everything up.
Is that good or bad?
Universe is
Cold and indifferent. Does not care. I'm feverishly trying to... Hey, that worked nicely. Okay, cool.
Wow, I saw almost attack map.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I'm like, yeah, of course I did.
Fight.
Yeah, I suspect I'm probably going to end up hitting the pause button and say, for next week. Well, because naturally, PCs did something that I wasn't quite expecting. I was sort of expecting it, but not quite expecting. Okay, so I do
So
not have
as we're all
everybody
sort of
on here.
as we're all struggling
But-
with this map, Soren's going to say, all right, everyone settle down. Just give us the thing back and we'll go talk about this quietly.
Okay, so on this map, where I guess where are the other PCs? If the
Probably not
two,
right next to him.
the two, because they said hold up here. So the two nut jobs are down there. Our impulsive nuts are causing that. I'm thinking maybe up here where it's like it's a little elevated, so you're like leaning on the railing to see what's going on.
Oh, well, I was thinking closer than that, but whatever.
I don't care what you were thinking.
Yeah, Queen is not watching. She doesn't really care. She's got her keg. She's going to drink.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you were sort of drinking. All right. Did it set the stupid things at 80% again? I don't remember if I have that turned off or whatnot. 100%. Okay, let's see.
This map's not bad.
I found it on Reddit. There's a Reddit that I'm a part of. It's like combat maps, and people just throw up various maps. That's the one where I found that big old link of all of the Witcher images from the
I thought I
city and
gave
stuff
that
like
to
that.
you.
Well, I found. I did you that? Well, that's Reddit. It's on Reddit.
Was that on
I've
Reddit? I guess it was.
And I've also seen another one. No, that's not what alcohol tolerance gives you a +2 on health checks versus alcohol, which Jorg has that as well. It's going to be funny if by the end of the thing everybody has alcohol tolerance. Now I'm realizing I screwed up. I forgot to put. Did I fail to create her? I should have presumed that the PCs are just going to go over and smack her in the face. Give me 1 second or 2, maybe 3, as I scramble and try to catch up. I'm going to blame somebody else, not me.
Blame you for the ketchup.
Yep, something like that. Oh, crap. I don't know how. That's not right. 5.
What is Copper's health?
She should be back to full now.
No, what's her actual health score?
12.
14.
So she'll have a 14, same as York, which means we're gonna have a really good drinking contest at some point.
Yes.
Because it's gonna take a lot of drink to get us drunk.
You say that, and the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to roll an 18, and congratulations, you're now thoroughly shit-faced.
I just had a good laugh thinking like there's this big build up hype to super, sturdy characters. And then after one drink, they're both under under the table.
No, at some point we're gonna need a distraction. We're gonna have a drinking contest.
Beautiful.
Okay, so the two of you are pulling and tugging and trying to get this thing away from her, and somebody was saying something. I totally missed what you had actually said because I was like feverishly trying to knock something out.
Søren said, "All right, everybody just relax, stand down, give us the thing, and we'll go talk about this quietly."
Yeah. There's no need to overreact.
Okay, let's see here. So she is trying to pull the thing away from the two of you. And this close up, the two of you can also make out that she looks borderline panicked right now. Let's see.
Hey, are they
So,
fighting over there?
give
Eh?
me. I guess Soren is the one that has the primary hold. So, Enfys, you can like make a strength check to assist.
Of course, I failed.
No,
Outstanding.
and we both fail.
Yes, so that's a fail by 4, which
That's
is
on
gonna be
strength,
my-
right?
Yep. Which is going to be worse than my fail by 1. Come on. Give me terrible roll. Give me a terrible. That's not a terrible roll. She doesn't have stats, so because it's going to be funny, I have decided she arbitrarily has unluckiness because when I look at her background, she is kind of unlucky here. So she yanks this, manages to slip away from it, and she staggers back, and she hits the ladder, and she trips, and the urn thing falls right. Hey, I have the token thing. I can use the token thing.
If it's anywhere within reach of Søren, he's going to try and catch it with his foot.
It's slightly out of reach.
And then he's going to kick it.
It's going to hit the dock right there, and it's going to shatter. The urn is going to just sort of shatter, and the two of you will see that inside the urn is a heart, and you realize it is still beating. I need from Enfys and Soren to Soren and Enfys to give you a fright check. Fail. That's lame. You should have failed. Come on, Soren. Fail.
There you go.
Yes. All righty. Congratulations, Soren. You are going to gain some corruption points. First in. I need you to roll 1d in the skull, please, and make the whatever the failed fright check stuff.
On the standard fright check table.
Yep. Wait, did I even? I don't think there's a different one, is there?
There's the horror one. Though I don't know if it's loaded here.
Have it.
Yeah, I don't think we actually made separate ones. What?
Yeah,
I
don't think I created the. I don't think I've seen the. Or I don't think I have the
no,
horror.
I thought Nosh
fright
did
check.
the Gothic one for.
I did.
Fenmore.
I did. Yeah. I did the GURPS 4E horror fright check tables.
Yeah, I don't have that, so the default one's probably fine.
So fail by 4.
Come on, do bad. That is terrible. That's only stunned for a couple seconds. Wow, literally a couple of seconds. Oh man.
If it's of any interest, what was his modified roll?
11. Yeah, 11.
11.
Oh yeah. Rolled really low.
So on the Gothic table, it would be stunned for 2d seconds, but he'd also have to roll on the Gothic short-term condition table.
I may harass you afterwards, Nosh, to get a copy of that. See if I want to use that instead.
And if you want to roll, you'd roll a d6 on that short-term condition if you just want to find out what it would have been.
So he'll be stunned for 3 turns.
If you're going to be looking into fright check tables, you probably ought to throw the DFRPG version in there as well as a possibility.
Did I?
That one's
I
just
don't
way
think-
easier to use.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a look at them. I will make a note in fright check. I don't like that my stuff. I've got homework.
Just for kicks, roll a d6 there, Rocky. So you would have had chills for 1d seconds, -2 to dexterity.
Okay, so as noted, the heart sits there. It's like continuing to defeat. Soren who has been having a really rough night tonight because he was kind of freaked out by the guy he knew who spouted some sort of terrible prophecy, and now there's a heart there that's beating. So he's like momentarily stunned. And what is Infus's immediate reaction going to be to this?
I'm going to walk over and I'm going to throw something over that beating heart very quickly.
Okay, so it's like you're just grabbing your cloak off or your hat or whatever. Okay, so it comes down. It comes over to Elke, who's staring at the heart. She's got absolute horror in her eyes, and she is going to look back in the direction of the boat. And then, to your surprise, she is going to dive into the river.
That was unexpected.
So Enfys will go over to the side of the dock to see if he can't be of some assistance, if she's like drowning or if she looks skillful in what she's doing.
Yeah, so as you're doing that, the door to the in this particular area is flung open, and a man is standing there, and I couldn't quite get the expression to work correctly, and obviously you don't know his name, but the expression on this guy it should be like he's like absolutely livid as he like stands there and he like shouts at the two of you. He's like, "You dare!" And even though you don't have any of the various spells or anything like that, Infus can absolutely feel magic boiling off of this guy. And to avoid a super long, a battle that ends up taking her, way past time, we're going to fade to black there. We're going to cue the music and we are going to roll the credits for tonight. So if you are watching or listening to this and you have any comments, questions, complaints, or general heckling, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Anyway, thank you for watching. Olympus out.
See ya.
Bye.
See you.